The silent threat. The city of Washington, D.C. buzzed with its usual energy. Tourists flocked to landmarks, government officials rushed between meetings, and the streets hummed with activity. Amid the chaos, a young cybersecurity analyst named Erin Clark walked briskly to her office in a high-rise near Capitol Hill. She had no idea that today would change everything. Erin's job at the National Cyber Defense Agency was usually mundane, analyzing digital threats and flagging unusual patterns. But that morning, something odd appeared on her screen. It was an encoded message buried deep in the server logs of a secure government network. The file had no sender, no source, and seemed intentionally hidden. She leaned closer. The message read, "The code will fall. 4 p.m. The city sleeps." Her heart raced. What did it mean? She reported it to her supervisor, but he shrugged it off as a prank. "Probably just some bored hacker trying to get attention," he said. But Erin couldn't let it go. There was something about the precision of the code, the deliberate way it bypassed firewalls, that screamed danger. Against protocol, she started digging deeper. Hours later, she uncovered a chilling connection. The code was linked to infrastructure systems, power grids, water supply, traffic signals. It was as if someone was preparing to take control of the entire city. By 3 p.m., Erin was frantic. She called her supervisor again, only to find he wasn't at his desk. She tried the agency director, but his assistant said he was in a meeting. Feeling desperate, she grabbed her bag and headed to the Capitol building, determined to alert someone in authority. The countdown. As Erin walked toward the Capitol, she noticed something unusual. The streets seemed emptier than normal. A police car sped past, sirens wailing. Helicopters hovered overhead. Her phone buzzed with an emergency alert. Possible threat. Stay indoors. Avoid public areas. Panic gripped her. She broke into a run, dialing every contact she could think of. No one picked up. When she reached the Capitol steps, she saw them. Men in black suits and earpieces, scanning the area. A convoy of black SUVs roared past. Erin tried to approach one of the agents, but they waved her back. "It's about the systems," she shouted. "Someone's going to shut them down." But before she could explain, a deafening explosion rocked the air. A plume of smoke rose in the distance. The power grid flickered, and the entire city plunged into darkness. The silent takeover. Erin's worst fears were coming true. The city's infrastructure was failing. Traffic lights blinked out, causing chaos. Subways ground to a halt, trapping passengers underground. Phones lost service. In the darkness, Erin spotted a man in a hoodie standing at the edge of the Capitol steps, typing furiously on a tablet. She approached him cautiously, her adrenaline spiking. "Who are you?" she demanded. The man turned, startled. His eyes were cold, calculating. "You wouldn't understand," he said, shoving the tablet into his bag. Erin lunged at him, grabbing the bag. He resisted, but she managed to tear it away and sprint toward the agents nearby. "He's the one! He's controlling the systems!" she yelled. The agents subdued the man, confiscating his tablet. Erin watched as they decrypted its contents. On the screen was a map of the city with highlighted targets. It wasn't just the power grid. Water treatment plants, airports, and even military bases were in danger. The race against time. With the man in custody, Erin joined the agents in the command center. Using the tablet, she worked with the team to reverse the attack. The clock was ticking. It was already 3:45 p.m. Sweat dripped down her forehead as she typed commands into the system. Each keystroke felt like a battle against an unseen enemy. At 3:58 p.m., she found it, a hidden kill switch embedded in the code. With trembling fingers, she activated it. The system began to reboot, restoring power and shutting down the hacker's access. The aftermath. By 4:10 p.m., the city's systems were back online. The The streets lit up, and the chaos began to subside. Aaron stepped outside, exhausted but relieved. The man in the hoodie was taken away, his motive still unknown. Was he working alone? Was this part of a larger conspiracy? No one could say for sure. As Erin walked home, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. Somewhere in the shadows, another threat might be lurking, and this time the code might not fall so easily.